Have you ever thought about if Google's logo was completely blue? Yes, I'm talking about the massive company that basically runs the internet. No, you haven't thought about it? Well, I guess I'll show you what'll happen. Subscribe! Google told you to. First, saying blue isn't really descriptive enough. Light blue, navy blue, or dark blue, regular blue. These are all great colors and they're perfectly fine shades, and they're already good to use in this scenario, but I will use the blue that is already in the Google logo. Its hex code is
4285F4. 4285F4.
It's a light blue, but not the typical light blue. It sort of has a darker tone than what I would consider light, but it's still not a dark blue. So, now that we've decided the color of the logo, I think I found another problem. Now, what I'm wondering is this a logo change? Or is it an alternate reality in which Google, I typed Goolgle There, has always been blue? If it has been that way since the start, one of my points would be non-useful. But if I said it would be a logo change, people would definitely be angry. But you can't predict exactly what people might do. So I'm in a bit of a predicament here. On the one hand, I don't get a point. On the other hand, it's hard to decide what will happen if I use that point. I think I'll go with a logo change because Google recently changed their logo to a rainbow gradient. So, what about instead of changing to a gradient, the blue takes over? Now that we have handled most of the pickles we would have been in if we didn't answer those questions, let's hop into the effects of this change. First, I'm assuming that they change everything. All of their apps, all of everything, such as Gmail, Slides, Google Sheets, and Forms. But what I am worried about is the slight inconvenience of accidentally clicking some other application when trying to click something else. See, Google Forms is basically the Google Docs logo, but purple. If they changed it all to that one sort of light blue color, I might accidentally click on it. Yes, it's an inconvenience by about 10 seconds, but I think about how that would add up. It would quickly stack up and waste minutes of my time, if not hours. I'm thinking they completely overhaul the logos. Google Docs can stay, but so that they don't get confused, they have to change every other thing except for Gmail and the actually different and recognizable looking shaped logos. For Slides, I think it could just be a horizontal rectangle with arrows going in both ways in the bottom, just as there are slide direction controls. For Google Sheets, I think just the four squares. Remove the paper sort of thing behind it and make the lines the Google blue. For Google Forms, this one's a bit tricky. I've thought, but here's my idea. What if we remove the fold in the top right of the logo and make the lines black to be different? This would be really good to let you know which service you're hovering over. The next thing that would happen would be outrage. I've previously observed tech companies change something and the people get angry and want what they had before back. I've also seen Mojang revert something or change it slightly and players got very angry. I've even seen YouTube change the flat red to a sort of gradient of pink or magenta to red, and some users, they were pretty angry about the change. Since people have reacted this way in the past many times, there's no saying it wouldn't happen again. People would definitely demand the old logo and colors back, because people got used to it. And this is a major logo change, it's not a small one, so you can't ignore it. Not like how YouTube made a small change, and people got that upset from YouTube changing it that smallly. Do we have different types of this blue? I don't think so. I already said the hex code. But if we didn't, that would just make Google Drive's logo a blue triangle. It would just make the news a blob unless they kept the white lines. What draws the line here? Get it? Line? Get it? Because lines clearly don't make everything blue. We established that when I was talking about redesigning the logos. Can we make a rule that says we only leave in the white? Yeah, sure. Okay, what about calendars? Do we leave the 31 in? Do we change it? Do we remove it? Would we change the highlight if you select something on text? But in this scenario, let's assume Google does not revert it. How many kids will remember being blue? And then think, what if in like 30 years they revert back to the old G for a week or so? These kids would have never experienced it as all the colors, but we would still remember it being all the whole rainbow. Anyways, make sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.